Hey, this is Jay Delsing, and I got my buddy John Perlis with me, and we are zooming here with you today. We're thinking about everybody. We're a little stir crazy. We're a lot stir crazy, and we just wanted to give you a little. The new tour schedule came out a day and a half ago or so, and there's going to be a new normal, and we don't have any idea what that looks like, but. Really jump in because I'm talking a lot over here. How you doing?
Hey, I hate the term new normal. I'm staying away from that. I'm thrilled that the PGA Tour is putting something out there to give us some dates, something to look forward to. However it is, I mean, you're gonna elaborate on it, but I know there's gonna be something to deal with. There won't be any fans or limited fans or something like that. But I think it's awesome that what sport is more appropriate than golf to do this type of thing. And obviously, we can talk too, but there's even battles from state to state with this shutdown. Some states are open for golf, some states are closed for golf. Hope all that kind of gets weeded out over time. I don't even know, what's the Missouri status, Jay? Is Missouri open for golf or not open for golf?
Yeah, Missouri is still open for golf, although some of the courses are closed because they closed some of the parks, some of the state parks, because people were inundating some of the parks. But yeah, what's interesting about just the fact that they're going to play golf without spectators initially. It's going to start with the Charles Schwab Challenge down in Fort Worth. What's interesting about that, Pro, the term "it takes a village" is still so applicable, because when you have a tournament that even though it's going to go on without spectators, you're going to need volunteers. There's going to be a lot that's going to go into this social distancing aspect. With, are they going to open locker rooms? How are the locker rooms going to be configured? How are you going to manage this whole thing? It's really cool to me, though, that golf is going to kind of lead the way for this. Maybe it's a soft opening. I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of opening.
What do you think the players are going to do, Jay? Are they going to be receptive to this? Do you think they're going to go play? Here's a situation where these guys, many of them, have probably more money than they can spend in their lifetimes. And if they feel that there's any risk, like you just said, in the locker rooms, or even pulling the ball out of the hole, all those types of things, grabbing a pin, just the nature of being out there amongst other people. Do you think that they're going to sign up for this?
Yeah, well, first of all, everyone's going to have to be tested. Everyone's going to have to be tested. I can't imagine Jay Monahan would assume that everybody is clean. Everyone's going to be tested. If anyone has the virus, they're not going to be able to play.
Are they going to be tested? Are they going to be tested every day?
No, but I guess they're going to have to be tested at the beginning of the week and then at the end of the week. That's what I'm guessing.
And just hope they don't get it during the week.
Right. And then you're going to have the volunteers tested. The staff is going to be tested. I mean, John, just from a television perspective, because I've worked, the U.S. Opens and been fortunate enough to be with Fox, that crew is big. You've been on that side of it before with the Ryder Cups, working for NBC. There's a lot that goes to this without spectators.
A ton. And you talk about closed quarters. You've been in those trucks. I know you've been in the trucks. You've worked from the trucks. I just would dip my head in once in a while when we'd get our equipment and stuff. I mean, people are on top of each other there, producing, managing, all the shots and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, their largest equipment, their semis that basically drag their, if you will, their production studios along. All of those kinds of things. It's going to be a remarkable effort to pull that off. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It could be a remarkable effort, John. I mean, that's one of the things, and the one thing that I feel really,
maybe they just need to give you a head cam and a microphone and stick you out there and just go.
And and on the back, unbeknownst to me, I'd say I have the virus, and I'd be going up to try to interview people, and everybody'd be running all over the place. Like, get away from that! That dude has a super huge head, and he has the virus. Get away from him.
Oh my gosh!
The one thing that I can say that I feel really great about is Jay Monahan and the staff there at the PGA Tour is extremely competent, extremely caring, and will certainly err on the side of caution to make sure everyone is safe, first and foremost.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. So what is the first date? I think you already said that, but when's the
Yeah, the
first
first
date?
date is the middle of June, and it's going to be down in Fort Worth, the Charles Schwab Challenge down at Colonial.
Okay.
And
Once you're starting in a state like Texas, and Texas kind of has that general chip on their shoulder, we're going to get this done anyway type attitude. So
they might just shoot the virus, bro. You know, everybody's packing a weapon down there. They might just shoot it. If they could see it, maybe they'll just shoot anything.
I'm good. I'm good with all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And, you know, it's such a weird time, John. When I think of some of the tournaments that may not be as popular to some people as others, but I've had the good fortune of going to those cities, getting to know some of those organizations. It really, really sucks that a place like San Antonio, which has been such a long-standing event, had great support through the corporate world. Valero is their corporate sponsor, and been great to the community. They don't get an event this year. And, you know, those guys work their asses off. All these other 10, 11 months for that 1 week of the year, and then, you know, this thing kind of whacks it. And there's those kind of stories all over the place. I mean,
well,
the Canadian Open is no longer.
That's a good point, Jay, but I wonder how many of these events the sponsors are going to be changing too. I mean, you know, some of the fallout right on the business side of this, and the money these guys put up to be these title sponsor, these tournament name sponsors, I wonder how much that's going to change too. I mean, it's just amazing when you hear we're just talking about golf, just something fun that we're passionate about on the side. But even with it, how the tentacles of this nightmare have just permeated every aspect of this business as well. I mean, it's a business, and so not a surprise it's going to be affected like all the other businesses. Yeah,
there's no doubt. I mean, look, this thing is, we are all so connected. You know, as we're going through this, there's never been a thing on a global scale that's affected so many people before. And you start thinking of the trickle down effect or the ripple effect, you know, where, you know, are these companies going to be able to, you know, keep paying their employees? Are they going to be able to stay in business? The ones that have over 500 employees, like a Charles Schwab, for example, they've been a huge supporter of golf. And, you know, John Deere is another, you know, iconic American brand that this thing cuts so deep, you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah. So I wonder when they'll get a pulse from the players of their interest level.
Well, I can tell you the players are interested. They are all dying to play. We all know that for sure. But I think your point is weighing how badly you want to play versus, wait a second, is this?
Well, they got little kids. It's like anything else, you know. So they're going to leave home, travel to get there, stay in a hotel room, I'm assuming, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, put themselves out there and then come home to, you know, parents, kids, wife, et cetera. So, yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're all wanting to play. But are they gonna?
Right. I'm not really sure. It's interesting because the Memorial Tournament has moved back a couple of months, so they're going to play that event. It's the schedule it goes from Charles Schwab, which has moved back, then it goes to the Heritage down in Harbortown, which is typically the week after the Masters. Travelers up in Hartford, which is a great event. Rocket Mortgage at Detroit Golf Club. I noticed you've got you're wearing some Detroit garb there. It looks good on you. And then they're going to John Deere back in the Midwest, and then the Memorial Tournament, and then up to the Memorial in Columbus, Ohio, and then up to Minneapolis for the 3M. So, yeah, they're focusing a lot of these. You know, many of these tournaments are done kind of in more of the central part of the country, because after that they're headed down to Memphis to play the FedEx World Golf Championship. The one thing that I'm wondering, Pearl, you read more about this than I do, but the state of California has been adamant about, you know, what can and can't go on there. The PGA Championship, the first major of the season, even after the revamped schedule, is scheduled for just outside of San Francisco, the 3rd through the 9th of August. And I don't see, with what I've heard from that governor, that they're going to allow spectators. And the second contingency plan there for the PGA Championship is to play without spectators. We're talking about the first week of August now.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the mindset that you hear, right? You hear different things. You got some people, let's open it yesterday. And then you hear other people say that they're talking about somewhere around 2022 that we should start thinking about sports again.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I'm just glad to see a little bit of movement. I don't know what the NBA is going to do. I don't know what the NHL is going to do, man. There's guys that invested a hell of a lot into this season with only about 10 games left, and now everything has kind of been just shuttered down. So more hold. There's a lot of holding patterns at this point still.
Well, no, so let's look at the local issue. When is that Ascension tournament? When's your tournament at Norwood?
The ACC tournament is the last week of September, first week of October.
Well, cross our fingers. It just depends on what your mindset is of when people say they're ready to go. So you'd like to think it'd happen by then, but I guess it depends on how you look at things.
Okay, how does this sound? September, we have the U.S. Open September 14th through 20th at Wingfoot, one of my favorite places in the whole world. The following week, September 21st through 27th, the Ryder Cup is in Kohler. September 28th through the 4th is that tournament here in St. Louis. Then there's a few other tour events. And then the Masters is November 9th through 15th of November.
I don't know, the whole thing, personally, it feels surreal to begin with. Then you start talking about this kind of stuff, and then they're talking about it, and sounds like, oh, yeah, that's way off. That will be just fine. Maybe not. I don't know. How about local playing? How's your game? You've been playing at all?
No, we've had this. We had a cold snap. Prior to this cold snap, I have been playing and been playing really well. I got a new golf ball I want to introduce to the market. It's called Sniper brand golf ball. It's fantastic. It's a $23 for a dozen, and it's a great ball. So
is my case in the mail? Is my case of the Sniper ball in the mail?
Your case is under wraps, my man. What
does that mean? Under wraps in the mail, or under wraps not going to get it?
Well, where should I send it? You're like in the traveling the bus all the time. Should I send it to Florida?
I'm hunkered down like everybody else, baby. I'm hunkered down. I'm down in Florida, and we're playing. I'm playing a little bit here and there. I walk by myself, carry. I don't putt to the hole. I knock it on the green, pick the ball up, and go to the next hole. I don't sit on the benches. I don't drink the water. I don't use the ball washer, and then I walk home. So it feels like when I was about 12 playing golf. There's some, actually, I come home and tell my wife, I says, there's a lot of cool things about this.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well, one of the things that I can tell you that they've done here locally at Norwood Hills where I played is I played 5 rounds of golf and haven't touched anything. I mean, they've got these little devices in the hole where your ball just kind of spins around there. I bet you I've played 5 or 6 rounds of golf, haven't touched a flagstick, haven't touched another person. It's been really good. People are very much sticking to the social distancing on the range, on the putting green. It's been nice to get out and get some exercise too, man. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get outside for sure. I feel for folks that are going through this and can't even get out there and do those kinds of things. I'm not quite sure. I guess you do what you got to do, but it's extra rough.
I'm putting another thing together, Pearl. I'm putting together a little short game test. It's going to be fun to go through various shots and grade your shots and things like that. So the short game special to me and to you. It'll be fun to play with this thing a little bit. Give it to some people.
Love it.
Well, Pearl, that's about all we got, man.
All right.
Got anything else?
That's all I got. I just fingers are all crossed, and hopefully next time we get together and things will be a little bit more clear on what the future holds.
Well, take care, Sally. All the best to you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, Jay. Talk to you later, man. So say hi to your group.
All right, Pearl.